and welcome to Salon ABV. Today we're talking about how to run a successful hair business, and I'm here with award-winning founder Abbey Osho. Stay tuned, it's going to be a fantastic interview. Welcome. Thank you so much, Abby.
Thank you for having me.
How are you today?
I'm very well.
So tell us about your business journey, Abby. It's a fascinating story.
I started this business I think around 2010, and it's as a result of me wanting to do something different. I've always loved things to do with fashion, to do with hair, and it just naturally happened that way that was the industry I found myself in. And also because we've just moved into that for not too long ago, there wasn't any salon that caters for the Afro-Caribbean hair texture within the area, and I thought it was just an opportunity to have something like that going, knowing fully well that within a few years it's going to be a different story. There will be a lot of people moving into the area, and that's how I got started in hair industry.
That's right. Thanks for that. You've moved to an area that isn't too busy. London is really competitive, but do you find that it's more of a challenge because there's less competition, or did you find it was easy because you are one of the few Afro hair and beauty salons in this area?
I think it came with a lot of challenges, in the sense that even though there wasn't, so to say, competition around there, it's also being able to have enough clientele to keep the business going, and also to be able to attract the right kind of staffing, because it means that you have to get someone that would have to travel to come to work. So those are the areas that I found quite challenging starting off, and having come from a different career, changing into hairdressing, it means that I have to retrain. I have to obviously I needed to go into college and get my NVQ2 and then the NVQ3 and all of that. So it was quite challenging to start off with.
So you persevered, and I think that's a challenging thing for a lot of small businesses or startups, particularly black businesses, is that perseverance when times are tough. One thing you just mentioned is the staffing. Tell me how you found quality staff, because that's what a big issue with people finding quality members of staff.
I would say quality member of staff has mainly been down to God's blessing. That's the word I'm going to use, because I've had a lot of people come through the salon that have worked with me over the years, but I have been blessed with people that have stayed on with me for such a long time. Even those that have come and gone, a lot of them would have been with me for like a year, 2 years. Good.
You've been blessed, you've definitely been blessed, but then that means it's something to do with you as well. So it's God's blessing, but it's something in you. What are your tips for how to manage staff, especially in this industry, because this is hair, like people are very obviously attached to their hair, but it's a very hands-on business. You know, if something goes wrong, you know, teaching and training your staff how to deal with customers. So what are your tips in terms of managing staff members and how they interact with customers?
I think one of the things that have really been useful for me is all the years of training that I've had, being a frontline staff in my previous employment, and customer service was a key point. We have to go on training every year. You have no choice. That's one training you cannot miss. So that has really been very useful for me. It has helped me to know how to interact with the clients, and I think having been working with my staff, I don't separate myself from them. We all work together. I try to work by example. What I can't do or won't do, I won't ask my staff to do it. Being considerate, being understanding, because everybody has their challenges, everyone has their moments. So it's being able to understand that everyone is human beings. Situations will come up.
So you've really touched on something that's just juicy, and we need to talk about this: customer service. There's a big thing I'm going to be really specific now, in the African and Caribbean diaspora, especially in the UK, where this is being filmed, about customer service. I think there's some negative narratives that come across about how some stylists or hair and beauty practitioners work with their customers. Please tell us, how first of all, how can you improve your customer service, and what needs to change that narrative? What needs to happen to change that narrative? So how can you make sure that your clients keep coming back, but how do you keep your clients happy, and what needs to change?
I think mainly it's to be confident in what the service that you are providing. Sometimes clients can be very unhelpful. When they come into the salon, they are requesting and making demand for a certain level of service that they are not prepared to pay for.
See? Can we talk? That's the juice, that's it!
So, and that can be very challenging if you don't know how to handle the situation. And I think that is where there needs to be a balance between the expectation of the client and what the business can actually provide. It's the client working with us, with the business, and the business working with the client. It has to be both ways. So those are the areas that I found quite challenging starting off. One of the things that I've noticed is that the expectation that our clients have is increasing because they have that certain expectation that this is what we will provide. So we are having to make sure that we meet that standard all the time. And when we don't meet that standard, they feel let down because we've set a standard which is what they're now expecting, and that standard is what they expect all the time. In my opinion, that the black hair industry would improve is if the clients and the stylists are working together, because if the stylists are trying to maybe train themselves and do all this training and get all the skills that their clientele are expecting, they would be expected to pay equally for that. But if the situation now is that if the clients are not willing to pay, then the stylists don't see the need for the training because they're only going to be paid what they're going to be paid. So, and going for training is not cheap. You know, if you want to go for a colored training with L'Oreal, for example, 1 day or 2 day course would probably set you back by £400. So if you're going to do that,
pricey.
Yeah, if you're going to do that, you want to be confident that you're going to get your money back.
There's a renaissance now of the natural hair community. Have you seen a change in terms of how people are coming in and embracing their natural afro curly hair? Have you seen a difference?
Yeah, we have quite a high, I would say at the moment that 80% of our clients are natural hair.
Okay.
And in some cases, there's some clients that are advised to go natural.
Okay.
Simply because of their lifestyle. Because a lot of people like to do weave all the time. And if you're going to relax your hair and put weave on it, there's no need to do that. So it's getting the balance right. So we have quite a high range of clients that are natural hair, and actually all of us here we're natural hair.
Okay,
you know, it wasn't intentional.
Nice.
Yeah, but we all have natural hair. It's a good thing to see, and to see the young children as well. Coming up, embracing their natural hair, understanding their hair. What we do here is, as we work with the kids, even as young as 6 years old, we're talking to them about their hair. We're telling them what they need to do, what to remind mommy to do when they get, how to look after their hair. So they've got a little bit of knowledge of what to do with their hair as they're growing. So, and as they get into teenage, I've got kids that have been coming to me since they're 2. They're now 12, 13 years old, and they're still coming. So they've grown with us, and we're able to train them to learn how to manage their own hair.
And that explains why you've won a number of awards. You've won a number of, I guess, you know, for kids. I noticed one for kids as well, which is unusual, which is really good, really positive. Customer service. So it really shows, indicative of the fact that you guys in this salon really pay a lot of attention to care. I'd like to talk a little bit now in terms of pricing strategy, because you touched on that earlier about making sure people's expectations are balanced when it comes to how much you're willing to pay for, but then what's the service you're going to get. So tell me, how do you decide your pricing strategy? And for anybody who's watching who's literally wanting to start, how does one decide how much to price their hairstyling services?
That is a very difficult one. I think you've got to really look at what is it that you're providing.
Okay.
I think that has to be the basis of it. Obviously, you've got to take into account your overhead. It depends on where you are. Your rent might be higher than somebody else down the road. Your electricity, water, and all of that, you've got to put that into the equation when you are deciding on the charges. And also, you've got to look at the product. If you've gone down the route that we've gone down, which is to make sure we're using premium products for our clients, then obviously your price will be different from someone that is not using premium products, or they're just using any product that they come across. So that is going to have an effect on how much you're charging. And also, when it comes to staffing, that is going to impact on how much you're charging. So it's just balancing things out and making sure you're not pricing yourself out of the market.
Perfect.
And at the same time, you're keeping your price reasonable. And you're being generous to yourself. You know, I read somewhere not too long ago of a lady that said that when you're generous to yourself, you're able to be generous to others.
Beautiful. I'm a fundamental believer in publicity, promotion, marketing, as you know, and PR. What are your key tips to promoting hair business? How do you promote this business? How do you promote this salon effectively? And obviously effectively, but cost effectively too. So what have you done that's been successful in terms of getting the message out there?
I think definitely you need to be online. You really need to be online. And before we had our website, we started off with our website and Facebook. I didn't know anything about Instagram at the time, so we had, and that has really been helpful for us. You know, the marketing is very important nowadays. Everybody, before they even, no more yellow pages. You know, you want to make sure you have a presence out there. So if you can't get a professional to do your website, there's a lot of website things that you can do yourself. But trust me, as a hairstylist, if you're busy, you won't be able to do it yourself. So you might need to pay someone to actually do that for you. And then Instagram is very good. I found that very useful. So if you start from the beginning, it's quite easy for you to just build up that aspect.
Go back to the basic of why we're filming this interview. If somebody wants to start their own hair business or become a solo practitioner just doing hair by themselves and making money from their talent, what are your key pieces of advice and guidance? I think you alluded to there's so many takeaways in this interview, but how can we kind of summarize what really do you need to do? How do you fund your business? What do you need to do to make sure you're successful and have a successful, long, sustainable career in hair?
Big one. I think the first thing is to make sure that you don't look at your costing very well to start off with, in terms of if you're going to be renting a premises, you need to make sure that it's not overly expensive. And again, you need to make sure you get someone that will help you to plan the floor spacing properly, so that you're maximizing the use of the space that you have. And also the presentation, because it really is very important, your presentation of what the salon looks like and what services you're providing. And once you've done that, I think it's also making sure that you go into partnership, get in touch, find one or two brands of product that you want to carry as a salon, and try and speak to. What I try to do is try and speak to them directly. So do you develop, if for example you want to be using Dark and Lovely, or you want to be using Mizani, try and get the major distributor of Mizani and develop develop a relationship with them. And then it's good to have all of that. What people are buying into is actually your skills.
Good.
So you need to make sure that you are current with your skills in terms of techniques, because techniques are changing every day. One of the things that I've found is that you also need to specialize in that area. If you're working alone, then you might want to, but if you've got staff working with you, for example, you might want the staff that you want to have an area where they work. Because, for example, here in Salon ABV, some of my staff, I've got staff that is mainly for plaits. There's one that will come in for twist and all of that, Ghana braids and all of that. So that is their special area. So when they phone in to book an appointment, they want to book with that person because they know that she is the one that does that.
And that's personal branding, isn't it?
Yeah,
and I think that's really important to kind of touch on in terms of hairstyle styling.
Yeah.
People buy into the brands of the hairstylist.
Yeah.
Have you seen that with your own experience as well?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
so
good.
Because we have individuals that is their area of specialty, the client comes to them you trust them with their hair.
So after all these years, I'd love you to leave us with, you know, either an encouraging message or a motivational kind of, you know, there's going to be somebody watching this who's probably been doing hair for a long time, or they've been considering doing hair. You can either share an experience that kind of would make someone feel encouraged, be encouraged, or just some words. What's your message in terms of keeping going and kind of not losing hope, and even just getting started? What have you got a story to share or a message you'd like to share with anybody who's watching this that would encourage them?
What I would say is, at the end of the day, you have to go with your heart. If you feel strongly that this is an industry that you want to work in, then you need to go for it. Don't be intimidated that there's so many salons around. Do not be intimidated that I'm just starting out and that person is that, because you bring your own personal touch to what you do. Even though there might be a salon across the road to you, they have their own personal way of dealing with it. You have your way of dealing with things, and you'll be surprised that some people will prefer your personality to the other. You never know. So you really have to go with your heart and focus on your business. Don't try to look at what so and so doing.
Distractions.
No, don't do that. Something I say to myself all the time is mind your own business.
Love it. Yes.
Just mind your own business. It's not. It is, because otherwise you get distracted. You're looking at this is doing that is doing that is doing that, and I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that, and that can put you down. So just focus on what you're doing. Concentrate on what you're doing, and pray, and just be yourself. One of the things I say to people is that at the end of the day, God is big enough for all of us. He's big enough. There's room for everyone. You've got two hands, and you can only do one person at a time. So if you just concentrate on that one person and do it well, you will get more customers. But if you not concentrating, you're doing, just be yourself, be focused, be consistent. Whether you're feeling down or you're feeling high, just try and be focused. Don't bring your problem to work. If you're not happy or whatever is going on, just try and just concentrate on what you're doing, and sure enough, the best comes to people that works hard, not just works hard and wait. Just smile, and we all have our downs and ups, but in the end, it all works out well.
Yes. Thank you so much, Abby. I would like to say, aside from thank you, you are such an inspiration, and I see see so much greatness in your future. I see that you're going to continue to be an advocate and ambassador in this industry. You are setting the tone and you're a role model for others, and I really hope others learn from you. So we appreciate you, we thank you, and we just want to say keep it up. I want to say keep it up, and everybody who's watching this, I'm sure they're encouraging you as well. We love you, so thank you.